What's going on, my YouTube friends, my Patreon friends? I know we got a lot of Anderson Paak people around here. How we living? I'm preparing, and I've been preparing for a while, and I've got some final thoughts on my perspective of the Grammys, and we're gonna take a big pinch of salt with that one, because I am so far removed from most music, most modern music, that I really don't have a hand to lend. But I do have some thoughts on like what they're kind of looking for, what some of the tastes might be, some of the like preferences to music, and I've got some thoughts. So I wanted to go through a few more songs before I put that whole video out. I've got two that I'm working on for the Grammys, but I wanted to jump into Mary J. Blige, Here With Me, featuring Anderson Paak, and it's the official visualizer. I don't know how these are going to do with the copyright thing, so I do have them transparent, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If y'all are new to the channel, I would appreciate you giving me the thumbs up, subscribing if you like this kind of stuff. I've got lots of Anderson Paak content. If you want to check me out on Patreon, there's lots over there too of Andy P. There's not too much Mary J. Blige. We did the Super Bowl, and I think that might be about it. Maybe another live one. I can't remember. Anyways, my friends, I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's watch this.
Bumper to bumper, like LA in traffic. I write the lyrics, she made the captions. Who gon' direct you with all them theatrics? But of course, ain't that the way it's supposed to be? Supposed to be, yeah, supposed to be. Yeah. Here with me, here with me, yeah.
Sounds very much like a Andy drum beat, very much like it. And so this is something that I'm trying to pay attention to when it comes to the production side, the science side of the Grammys and the music, right? Is it feels like real drums, and chances are it is, but like, and I don't want to give too much away, but I do want to kind of pull you guys into my Grammys video. So there's there's different ways that drums and production have been kind of captured over the years, and right now we're kind of getting back to this like, it's real drummers playing, but only sections, and then those sections are duplicated. And that's more because it's very, very time consuming just to like do a drum beat and just to get something through. Because like if your sense or parts of a beat out, it's wrong. You have to go and cut it, and you have to align it. And if you can't do it, and if it's contrasting with something else, you have to just like retake it. So, you know, a drummer might play 4, 8, or 16 bars, and then they'll use that as like almost a beat now, instead of it just being totally programmed drums like we're kind of starting to get away from to a degree, especially in like R&B and like some funk and like some rock and stuff like that, right? But it sounds like an Andy drum beat that they've doubled up and duplicated, and that's something that I started to be aware of from the Silk Sonic projects versus like the Bruno Mars projects. And I think that Andy's got like a really cool flavor to his drumming, and it's important to have that there, because you put on a song with Andy playing drums, you're like, oh yeah, this is Andy playing drums. But I honestly think that it's like a revolution that they do. But I like that because it's still real. It's still got human characteristics to it, like velocity, tone, like stuff like that. But it's just like a lot more efficient and effective when it comes to the actual production side. You can put out a lot more music that way, right? Anyways, I think it sounds like an Andy beat, and it's fantastic.
Like New York in traffic.
I'm gonna set this up.
Like New York in traffic, I make the features and do all the casting. Who gon' direct me with all these theatrics? But of course,
you gonna direct me with all these theatrics? That was a bar. That was a bar.
Direct me with all these theatrics. But of course, go ahead and roll one, ain't gotta pass it. I play the role, but this ain't no acting. This show is over, but we can't be canceled. But of course,
the show is over, but we can't be canceled. Okay.
Ain't that the way it's supposed to be? Supposed to be. Supposed to be. Yes, supposed to be. Here with me. Here with me. 'Cause you're here with me. Give me more to say.
It's cool, man. It's cool to hear like especially with Andy, because I'm just such a huge Andy fan. It's cool to hear like when he works with other artists, Chris Brown, Bruno, Mary J. Who else? There's been a few others like recently. Corday. How like I think that there's a real back and forward when it comes to their producing styles, right? So like the layering, the vocal like style, or like the writing style, and it's neat to hear because Andy's a great singer, but it's neat to hear like all these vocals and these melodies coming together that I would assume came from Mary J. Blige's kind of pen or like styles and stuff, right? And it's just neat to see the crossover, and I appreciate it probably just because I'm so close to the Anderson .Paak stuff, at least a lot of the stuff. But I appreciate it, man. I think this is a really cool track.
Yeah, I need to connect. Don't wanna wake up in the morning feeling sad and regretful. Wanna press, but when it's us, want you to make me feel special. But of course, tell me more than sex. Yeah, I need to connect. Don't wanna wake up in the morning feeling sad and regretful. Don't wanna press, but when it's us, want you to make me feel special. But of course.
Great drum, bro. Yeah, great track. I love that they showed that they were like in the studio the whole time. They were probably listening to it, or it could have been like footage while they were actually tracking. But stuff like that's important, man, and it lends to the authenticity of the sound of it. And I think that is a part of the engagement that is going to, like, you know, do a lot of these artists well at the Grammys. And so that's what I was kind of coming here looking for, was, did it sound like real? Did it sound organic, but still have a modern take on it, right? And I think one of those approaches, and I'm talking on my butt, man, I wasn't in the studio. I'm presuming a lot of things here, right? But if that is the case, if they are doing, like, taking a section of Andy's drums that was perfect, and they're duplicating that over to use it as the beat, I think it adds a realness to it, right? And then in some of those backing vocals, they had things like auto-tune and some of these modern effects that we're used to, that we're almost accustomed to, but they sounded like they were used in very organic ways, because it still sounded like it was Andy singing. I think they had it on Mary a little bit in some of the parts, and like I think that's cool because it still sounds like he's singing. It's not overdone. It's not like where it sounds like it's a keyboard that's making noises. It sounds like he's singing, and it's got this like oversaturation, these over harmonics, these overtones is the word I was looking for originally there. These saturation and harmonics, it just adds this body to it, or like this stereo image to it, but it still feels kind of real. And I like that, and I think that that's important. And I think that that's kind of like an overarching theme for some of these artists that I think are going to do well at the Grammys. But anyways, my friends, that's my ramble for the day. Until the next one, see you again soon.